Once again, you are welcome to EPI's Foundation Empowerment Program. Here we help people to unveil their hidden potentials. We give you the courage to do what you think you can do, because we believe whatever you achieve now, you have the potential to achieve something greater and better than that. So join us as I take you through step-by-step tutorials on how you can master the filters or the function keys in Snapseed application that can be used for editing your pictures. So once again, I'm by name Mojo Abraham. So this is the application called Snapseed here. So you can get it on Google Play Store, and if you choose that you want our premium, so that we can get it for you. So here, this is the landing page. So let me click on this plus button. You can see that same particular picture you saw on my background, my screen background, is what we're going to be using for this tutorial. So this is the picture here. So I'm going to click on tools. You can see tools there, so click on it. The first thing we have there is tone image. Under tone image, when you click on this place here, can you see those dotted lines there? Eventually, can you see? Yeah, that is the menu key. Now under this we have brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlight, shadows, warmth. So I'll be explaining them one after the other. So for brightness is simply an exposure of an image to light. Can you see now? I've exposed it to more light, get brighter. You can see how it's reading down here. You can see the reading is going up here, taking the reading there. Depends on how much of light, and I can reduce it as well. So but then let me take it back to 0. Alright, the second one, you can see you can just throw up like this. When you throw up like this, you can be gaining access to the menu instead of clicking this place. So the second one there is come back to 0. The second one there is the contrast. Contrasts are referred to different tones in image. You can see it has given me a different tone. It has given me a different tone, different look in the image. So but then I need to take it back to 0. Why the third one is saturation. Saturation is a way to create vibrancy or to increase the intensity of the image color. So you can see the beauty of that nature comes out. It will bring the person's skin color out, but then it must not be too much. You can see the real color of this particular dress here comes out indeed. So and then one has to be careful in the usage also. So that is all. Saturation. Why ambience is the next one we want to look at is ambience. Ambience is to control balance in image. Like if there's any image that is backing light and it does not have access to light, then you increase the ambience to create a balance throughout the whole image. You can see I've increased ambience. I've increased the ambience. So and also reduce. That's the function for ambience. The next one is highlight. Highlight is for increasing the brightness of the picture if it is dark. So increase the brightness. Now it has some darkness already. When you look at it very well, my face is not showing very well, so increase it. While the next one is the shadow. Shadow is to create balance of shadow in an image. Increase the balance of the image. When you look at the shadow of that tree, you realize it shows better. Like this, it shows better. So that's that about shadow. And the next one is format. Format is to create a nice tone image or an unrealistic image. Now look at this. I've changed the tone. When you barely look at this, you realize it's not realistic for the picture to look like that. You can see I'm reducing to minus. Let me take it back to 0. So that's that about those functions. Let's proceed. So we need to clear out this. I will go back to tools and I click on details. Now these details, this is the menu. It has structure and sharpening. Now this particular structure, just look at what I'm going to do now. You can see it's going to enhance my face and brightness to show the brightness of the image. So sharpening is going to sharpen the color, it will make it very bright. Sharpen the color, but because of the fact that I have not done any editing, I'm only explaining the function case, you might not be able to see it or enjoy it that much. That's that about that. So the next one we want to look at is curve. You see, this particular curve could be very difficult to master or to get used to, but then say curve, we have RGB red, so you can get access to any of the color in curve. Now let's get straight to the functions of curve. You can see it depends on how smart you are in handling this particular. Remember, the first online training I attended about Snapseed before I learned smartphone photography was this curve the person using editing this picture. You get, so I can do it to my taste and get the design I want. So that's that about curve. Let's click on tools again and pick white. Why did I just click on white balance? Alright, so white balance has temperature and tint as menu. So I can tint the color, it will change. That is for tinting. And while temperature is to, as this is indeed increasing or decreasing the temperature of the image. So to adjusted, and you can just focus on a particular spot you want to tint. Might not be everything. That's the function of this particular one here. Yes. Come on. Let me undo that. Alright, so we'll click on tools again, we'll go to crop. You can see this particular picture on my phone. You weren't seeing the leg of this person, which simply means I cropped it. So you can crop your picture to your own desired size. You get, and crop it to your own desire. But then if you are cropping, you need to be very careful. Maybe that will be explained in another video entirely. So if I crop, you can see how it is. Then I need to move back because I'm not cropping this picture. Alright, it has functions to do. This person standing here has another function to carry out for me. That's that about cropping. I click on tools again, rotate. So this is for rotation, and I click on this function here, or this is going to rotate the picture. You can see that rotated the picture. I click on this other one, this here. So keep rotating to my choice, but then I'm not rotating the picture. Choose again, pick perspective. Now perspective, you can see is in tilt. I can tilt it to either left or right or up or down. That is if I want to tilt. Then I click on this place back. It will take me back to the menu button. I can rotate to my choice anyhow I want to get it rotated. That is the function. So I can scale it to my taste. I come back here again, free. Yes, I can do it to my taste. I can use white, I can use black, depends on the background. This applies to each of those features. So but then I don't want to apply it. Let me cancel it. That is for that about perspective. Now expand. This particular expand function, you are going to use your two fingers. Now use your thumb and your index finger to expand up like this. You can see you are going to use touch both sides. Now you can see that expansion, it has functions. Now that is for smart. If I click on white, you can see the side that I expanded will be white. If I click on black, the side I expanded is going to be black. If I click on smart, it will try to expand it based on the color options of what the picture is experiencing. So when you look at all these places, you can see the person they try to move. When you look at, you see my head here also. You look at this place also, you realize that, and the same thing is applicable here too. So we click on tools again, we look at selective. Now this selective, when I click on this plus sign here, means I've selected an area. So let me click on it. Let me click on it now. It has been clicked on. And let me select this area that I selected here now. Just watch. So I can get it brighten. I want to brighten. You can see how it's getting brighten. Maybe parameter is not brightness I want to put. Maybe it's contrast. You can see. Maybe I don't want to use contrast. Get back to 0. I can use saturation. You can see how the color is changing there. I can use structure, which is the last, so you can see the difference in the color already from that aspect. So that is that about the select. Now the brush. You can see this brush, I can choose an area I want to brush over. You can see that is for dodge and exposure. When I pick that area, it's going to get exposed. Maybe it is temperature I want to add. You can see the temperature will change instantly, or maybe it is saturation to bring out the color of that particular spot. You can see my face. You can see anyway I just click on, the function will be seen there. That's that about the brush. Now let me get to this healing. The essence why I said this picture here has its own function. Can you see this healing? I can use it to eradicate this fellow here standing. Just watch out. Can you see how it takes the person off, just like magic? Now another function that this healing has is this. Can you see this my face here up? You realize something like pimples, right? Now this ceiling, when I touch those spots, it will take it off. It was like magic. It will take it off. Even it will just anywhere you touch, but then be careful on your editing also. Anywhere you touch, it will take it off. That is the function of this ceiling. And then I will advise you, when you are doing your picture editing, ensure you zoom your picture in like this to look out carefully. Now HDR. Now we go back to tools again. We click on HDR space. Now HDR space has filter strength, brightness, saturation. Those are the menus. Now I can increase the filter strength, and I can increase the brightness, I can increase the saturation. But then I want you to look at something. Now I want to change this to nature, just nature. You can see how it looks like. Now let me put it in people. It gives us another fine. It gives us another strong fine. So the essence of this brightness, take for instance, I put in nature. The essence of this brightness of the menu button is to increase the brightness if I want to, and the filter strength is also increased if I want to. The feature one, I think it will always be in 50 if I'm not misquoting that, and the saturation if I want to. So that's that about HDR. Now let's get back to tools. Alright, we are back to tools. Then we click on Glamour Glow. Glamour Glow will take away the effect of harsh light and we create a smooth image. Can you see? Hope you can see. Now under this is, you can see it has its own menu too. It has glow, it has saturation, it has warming. So I can increase to my taste. It depends on what I want, but then one still has to be very careful about the usage. That's that. Then we click on tools back and we pick Tonal Contrast. This is Tonal Contrast. Now Tonal Contrast is one of the filter that is very used after the tone contrast, and it is used for an elusive way to enhance fine shadow. So and underneath it, yes, it has menu. It has the high tone, mid tone, low tone, protective shadow, and protect highlight. Now for the high tone is a way of adjusting highlights of an image by adding or decreasing the contrast. You can see I'm adding, now I'm decreasing. Let's get back to 0. Now likewise the mid tone affects the middle gray tones in the image. Look at the mid tone here now. Adding, I'm getting back to 0. And the third one is the low tone. We have the low tone. Can increase. Now what is the function of the low tone? It adds less contrast to the shadow. Add less or more contrast to the shadow. And the next one is to protect the shadow. Protect the shadow gives details in the shadow after contrast tones has been added. And the last one here is protect the highlight. Details in highlight when the highlight tones are increased. So if you protect the highlight once it's been enabled in the picture. So we get back to tools and we pick, I think we just did tonal contrast, so we pick drama. Now, one thing about this drama function is that it is used for creating artistic effects or enhancements in an image. You can see drama 1, 2, just like that, and it has its menu: filter the strength and saturation to your taste, to one's taste, in as much as you click on any of these that you want. Because of time, the next one is the vintage function. You know, the vintage, you could remember picture in the year 50s, 60s, 70s. So now, to get those kind of format of picture, the vintage is one of those ways you can use to get those picture done. And it has its menu of brightness, saturation, style, vignette. So you can use those functions to get it set based on your taste and how you want it to be done. So we'll get back to tools. The next one is the Grammy Film. Now, this Grainy Film is for creating film-like look and pictures or image. It looks like picture. You can see all the functions is bringing. So for this Grainy, now we need to know Grainy is a small granular particles of a substance. You need to be careful about this granular when you are used, so that it does not spoil the functions, the beauty of your picture. So, but then you edit based on what you want or the outcome of what you desire to have. So that's the background film. So the next function we have is Retrolux. Retrolux, it is for creating image with scratches, light leak and film style, and it has its own menu too. You can see all these ones here, just like we have in film Grainy Film. So it has. Now let's get to these scratches. So I can increase the scratches, I can increase the saturation, I can increase the light, I can increase the brightness. So you need to just set up this based on what you want the picture to bring out. That's that about the now the next function is a grunge. You can see this grunge is gas, anything that makes something not clear or neat. So to get the look that feel like a texture in something, so you can see it's indeed not clear, but then is menu, texture strength, saturation, contrast. So you just follow the styles and you set it based on what you want. You can pick any of these and set. Now we move to black and white. You know, black and white is a way of getting. You can see it's already black and white. So based on how you want it, I use red, I use yellow, I use blue, and here is menu, contrast, and that's that about the black and white. Now the next one we want to look at is Noir. It's used for creating black and white image that looks cinematic or are with dark room inspired tones or wash looks like. So that is a menu of, you can see the wash menu here, and the grain menu, the filter menu, brightness, and I can pick any of the options here and do my setting. Depends on what I want to achieve. That's that about Noir. Pardon me, I've been a bit down, but then I need to ensure this training holds. So the next one we have is lens blur. Okay, before lens blur, let me talk about portrait. Now you can see this portrait. You can see face spotlight. Realize my face looks as if it's not showing very well. When I increase it, it will ensure my face is showing, and skin smoothness, it will smoothen my skin. You just zoom it so you see. And eye clarity, when you look at it before now, it looks as if my eyes are not showing. I'll zoom it out in back. You can see now that my face shows. That's the function of that portrait. When I take it off, you can see it shows the now head posture. I can choose pupil size, smile, focal. So when someone is not smiling in the picture, you can decide to give that person smile. Look at smile now. Let me increase. You can see how it increased my cheek. So that's another magic, right? No, it wasn't like that. It's an focal length. You can see how it expand my head and raise it up. So that's that about the head pull, the lens blur. So you use your two fingers to, and if you want to move it, can you see where you click on this spot here to get it move. Yeah, this blue spot that has a stroke of white, so you click on it to move it. So and the aspect, you can see how, and if I want to increase it, I use my two fingers to ensure it's moving. So that's that about, and that is menu blur strength transition. Now look at the function of blur strength. Now transition, it will expand that, and vignette strength will get it darker. Get back to tools. Vignette is to add dark or light tint around your image. This outer brightness, let me increase it. Can you see? Now inner brightness, that's just the two major functions it has. And get back to function, double exposure. Yeah, you know, I can add another picture to this particular picture, you can see. So but then I will just have to set it up the way I want it to be. Can you see? But then it's one picture, can make it look light, dark, and subtract, overlay, but it's still the same. So like this particular function can work if I want to cover this person. Now just look at, and so this is a particular function people use sometimes to duplicate pictures that looks alike. So and the next one we have text. So you can write anything you want, choose your font and the way you want it to look like. Then frame, if you want to make a picture that has frame, so you have options of frames here. Just pick the frame, the work is done and cool. And believe you me, this picture after editing you can get it printed. So thank you very much for watching. God bless you.